Hey guys, Gene here, and here for you today, part 3 of Altersphere spoilers. Starting off the bat, cards I forgot to mention in the last video. We have the Altar leaders, we have Godsword Alexiel, and Orcus Puppet Girl. Both cards I'm very excited for to play as when the new expansion rolls around. Two of my favorite cards. One thing I do have to note, from what I heard, when you play this Orcus, as her other forms, she does not have a new art. She still has her old art. So we shall see when that set rolls around, see if that actually is true or not. So let's get into the actual cards. First off, you have Bronze Follower, 2 mana 3/1 Rabbit Mage for Runecraft. Fanfare: if there are no allied Earth Sigils in play, you summon an Earth Essence. So basically, it's a 2 mana 3/1 that gives you a 1 mana amulet that you could just use for any Earth rights later on in the game. We have to remember that if you do have an Earth Sigil in play, it's just a 2 mana 3/1. So that's basically it. Next we have 3 mana 3/2 Tico, Mysterian Spell Nerd. Again, obviously a Mysterious card for Runecraft, Bronze. Last words, you put a Mysterian Circle into your hand, and when it's evolved, last words, you put a Mysterian Right into your hand. But the thing is that when you evo it, it does not gain any stats. So you have to be pretty desperate if you want the Mysterian Right in your hand, because the evo you could just use on a better card like Miranda or stuff like that. So that's pretty much it for Tico. Next we have 4 mana 2/4 Bronze Follower for Shadowcraft, Zealot of Silence. Just has Bane. It's pretty underwhelming compared to all the other Zealots we've seen so far. But you get to think that the whole Omen of Silence archetype is basically just like anti-meta cards, and Bane is very anti-meta, but they could have done more with it, I think. Next we have Furfur, Bloodcraft Bronze Follower, 3 mana 2/2. 3 mana 2/3, sorry. Fanfare: give +2/+0 to a Bloodcraft follower in your hand. For the rest of the video, this is the main new archetype that's going on in Blood. Basically just pumping cards in your hand by attack only. It's mainly the new Alice effect from after the nerf. And cards synergized with it are like this card: Salome, Bloodcraft, Silver Follower, 5 mana 2/5. Fanfare: deal X damage to an enemy follower and restore X to your leader. X equals this follower's attack. So you just keep buffing this card's attack up and up and up, and its damage and health will just scale for how much you buffed it. Even if you buff it once with Furfur, it's still a great card. 5 mana 4/5, deal 4, gain 4. That's pretty good. Next we have Dragon Soul Princess, Silver Follower for Dragoncraft, 3 mana 2/2. Fanfare: put a Glacial Dragon into your hand, and it has the old Temple Defender text: subtract 1 damage taken by this follower. Glacial Dragon is an old card, so 7 mana 5/5 Bronze, deal 1 damage to all other followers when it's getting played. It's okay, more of a take 2 card because it's giving you a lot of value, especially in take 2. In rotation or in a limited, there's already, like in rotation, the deck is not even getting hit that much. Like, you're just losing PDK in rotation. So basically, this is not a good replacement for PDK, not in the least. But as well as there's still Ramp Dragon, and it's still very powerful. And they don't need this card at all. Next we have Vuella, One-Winged Demon, Bloodcraft, 2 mana 2/2, Gold Follower. Fanfare: give +1/+0 to a Bloodcraft follower in your hand, and when you evolve it, give +1/+0 to all Bloodcraft followers in your hand. The evo effect is pretty insane because you just buff your entire hand. You might have a lot of Storm cards, like Savage Wolf. You have Milnards, Excellas, and all that stuff, and they just get buffed up. Especially since one card in your hand will get +2 because it's Fanfare, you +1 something, but it's evo, you give it to all as well. Plus it also has the full evo stats, so it's pretty busted for a 2-drop. Next we have Tile the World Gate, Portalcraft, 9 mana 2/2 Gold Follower. Accelerate 2, banish enemy follower 2 defense or less, and you put a Guardian Golem and a Strikeform Golem into your deck, and Fanfare randomly put different artifact followers from your deck into play until your area is full. So basically this card seems a little bit insane, because I was looking at it, I was like, 9 mana 2/2, this effect must be pretty good, right? Accelerate 2 is pretty good. First of all, you banish and follow 2 defense or less. That's pretty good for 2 mana. Especially since, like, the only other card that's better than it is basically Blackened Scriptures, but that's in Haven. But as well as, you get a Guard form and a Strike form Golem into your deck, which are some of the better artifacts that was ever made. But 2 mana 3/3 with Rush and 2 mana 3/3 with Ward and added effects, pretty good. But the main reason you want to play this is mainly for the Fanfare effect, mainly because you just play it on 9 and then your whole board's full with followers. The best case scenario would be something like a Strike form Golem, a Guard 4 Golem, Prime artifact, and the Radiant artifact, because that's literally the most stats you can put onto the board for 9. So that's basically 17, 16 worth of stats for 9 mana, and it's pretty easy to get to there because Tile herself would give you Guard form and Strike form Golems into your deck. There's the Hydro Alchemist. I'll also put Guard form and Strike form Golems into your deck. There's the 2 mana 2/2 that puts Prime artifacts into your deck. There's also the 0 mana spell that could put any artifacts into your deck. Basically, Sly Games wants Artifact Portal to be a thing again. Ever since Orcus came out, Puppets has just been rising in popularity, and it's just continued rising in popularity. Artifacts have just been left under the rug. Next we have Pactbound Demon, 6 mana 5/5 silver follower for Bloodcraft. Fanfare, draw 3 cards. Last words, deal 3 damage to your leader. I say nothing bad with this. It's just a great card. 6 mana 5/5, draw 3. It's pretty insane. Last words, you're just basically helping you pump up your Dark Feast bat count. Especially since draw 3, you're going to draw your Dark Feast bat with that probably. You can also draw your Omen of Loss and all that type of stuff. Next we have 5 mana 4/2 legendary follower for Bloodcraft, Diabolus Agito. Rush, Fanfare, gain +0/+X. X equals the number of times that your leader was damaged during your turn in this match. And it cannot be destroyed by spells and effects. Basically, this card is just a great value card. Doesn't use your evo points because it has Rush, and it helps you stabilize the board until you get to your Dark Feast bat turn, since this card synergizes so well with that deck because you're already damaging yourself a lot. Like, this card's also pretty good in like the normal Bloodcraft decks because you're still damaging yourself, but not as much to the point as playing with Dark Feast bat. But we shall see what type of deck this card will find its home mainly in the future. Next we have 5 mana 4/5 silver follower for Runecraft, Centaur Shaman. Fanfare, Earthright, gain +1/+0, and Rush. That's basically it. Next we have 5 mana neutral gold spell, Slash of the One. Whenever ally follower evolves, if only one ally follower is in play, change the cost of this card to 3 and destroy an enemy follower amulet. Basically, this card is a better execution, I think it was called. The 5 mana bronze spell that destroys enemy follower amulet. That's basically it. Next we have Ephemera, Sword Angel. 2 mana 3/1 gold neutral follower. If there are no ally followers in play, gain Rush. And evolve if there are no ally followers in play, gain +2/+2. So basically, if you play on an evo turn and play it by herself, she gains Rush, get trade, pretty good. Or if you evo her, she becomes a 7/5 because she gains +2/+2 when she evos and no other ally follows in play, which is pretty strong for a 2-drop as well. Yeah, that's pretty much it for Ephemera. Just a pretty good aggressive card. Next we have Manifest Malice, Shadowcraft bronze spell. 2 mana, deal 2 damage to an enemy follower, summon a ghost. This card seems a lot more versatile than the normal 2 mana, deal 3 damage to a follower, since it also summons a ghost. So you could split off the 3 damage to something else. You could make the 1 damage go face. You could evo the ghost to make it more damage. as well as you can just like soul conversion the ghost away to draw 2 cards. This card seems pretty good for just being a 2-mana removal spell. Next, a card I am excited for to see is Death's Mistress. 8-mana 6/6 Shadowcraft Silver Follower. Accelerate 2, you draw a card, but if you barrel right, you draw 2 cards instead. And this card just has ambush. So basically, this card is a... First of all, it's a reanimate target. That's pretty good reanimate target. Mainly because with the new Crow card, you have reanimate 8. And you usually don't have a good reanimate 8 card that you want to put in your deck. Death's Dragoncaller is a pretty bad card to reanimate. It's just a 2/2. This card's a 6/6 ambush. But as well as it helps you accelerate into your combo pieces, such as it helps you accelerate into cards like your Crow, into Caradwyn, and as well as to Mordecai, which is your main reanimate target. So that's basically it. Much more consistent way of doing it. Next we have Illumina, 3-mana 2/3 Swordcraft Silver Follower Officer. Fanfare, discard a card from your hand, randomly put a spell or amulet from your deck into your hand. A lot of the new Swordcraft cards in this set have that type of effect where you discard a card from your hand, you get an added effect. This card just adds a spell or amulet from your deck to your hand. Much better in Unlimited because you have cards like Round Table Assembly. What else is there? Widest Command, and heck, you can even search up Support Cannon. Next we have 2-mana 2/2 Swordcraft Officer Ernesta Magic Dealer. Fanfare, discard a card from your hand, draw a card. Just a nice looting effect. Next, Ragespear Centaur, 7-mana 5/5 Swordcraft Officer. Whenever an effect discards a card from your hand, deal 1 damage to random follower. Fanfare, deal 1 damage to random follower. Repeat this effect 4 times. The first effect is not that great, and its fanfare is not that great either. So even if you do want to make a discarding Swordcraft deck, I don't see this card being played at all. Next we have Forcecraft, 2-mana 2/2 Bronze Follower, Zealot of Unkilling. Last words, give a random enemy follower -2/-0. It's okay. More of a take 2 card. Next we have 2-mana 2/2 Silver Follower for Shadowcraft, Wight Knight. Fanfare, enhance 6, summon either a Spellplate Cavalier or Bone Cavalier, which are the old token cards for the 7-mana 5/5 card released back in the day. Spellplate Cavalier is a 4-mana 2/4 with Ward, and Bone Cavalier is a 4-mana 3/3 with Drain. The 7-mana 5/5 summon these for Necromancy 6, and also you evo her. She evos all your Cavaliers that are in play. So you also just play this on 6, you summon one of these 2, and on turn 7 you play the other girl that summons one of these, you evo her, and then you just evo all your Cavaliers, which is pretty good. I like it that they bring synergy to old cards, especially since that card never saw any play at all. And next we have 4-mana 2/5 Bronze Follower for Dragoncraft, has Ward, and when you evo it gains +3/+0 if Overflow is active for you. Simple take 2 card. Next we have Slumbering Calamity Beast, 3-mana 2/3 Legendary Runecraft Follower, has Ward, Earthright, gain +2/+0, and enhance 8, deal X damage to all enemy followers, X equals his follower's attack. So basically, if you're enhancing 8 and you don't have an Earthright, this card seems pretty bad, because you're just 8-mana 2/3, deal 2 damage to all enemy followers. It's not that great. It's much more effective to just play Slumbering Calamity Beast. Well, first you play Nova Flare, then Calamity Beast. But if you do have Earthright, it's deal 4 damage to all your enemy followers, which is pretty insane, because that's usually the sweet spot of killing all your opponent's creatures. Mainly because in like a mirror match, or against Root itself, they play like Anne, Miranda, and all that stuff, and they're all 4 health, and they're all 4 health or less, so that'll get rid of the whole board. As well as even on the early turns, if you Earthright, it becomes a 3-mana 4/3 with Ward, which is pretty good for what it does. Next up we have 3 mana 2/3 Bronze Dragoncraft Follower, Justice Dragoon. Fanfare, put either a Dragon Wings or a Dragon's Handspur into your hand. Dragon Wings is deal 1 damage to all enemy followers for 2 mana. Pretty good for the Disdain cards. And Dragon's Handspur is 4 mana, deal 3 to an enemy, and draw a card overflows active for you. Pretty good for more aggressive type decks. It's also pretty good removal in general, actually. Next we have Destruction of Reason, 3 mana, gold, Bloodcraft spell. Give all Bloodcraft followers in your hand +2/+0, and if Vengeance is active for you, additionally give all Bloodcraft followers in your deck +2/+0. You're mainly going to be using this for its hand effect, because if you're relying on the deck effect, it's going to be a pretty slow card. Mainly because you don't have that much ways to draw, especially if you're playing the type of deck that this card wants to be in. This wants to be in more of an aggro type deck. The only card you're going to have is Blood Pact to draw cards mainly. Yeah, that's basically it, but it's still pretty good. You just buff all your cards in your hand, but 3 mana is pretty much, especially since 3 mana tempo loss, because if you play it on 3 mana, it's fine, but then your opponent's going to play a 3-drop, and then you're just going to be a little bit more behind at that point. Next we have Swift Steps, 2 mana bronze spell for Swordcraft, give an ally follower +0/+1, Rush and Bane. This is basically like you're evoing the card, but it's just a 2 mana spell that evos it for free. Reyna, Guided Revolution, 7 mana 6/6 silver neutral follower. Fanfare, give another ally follower and play the ability to evolve without using evolution points. I see this more used in like a Omen of One deck, because outside of that, it's more of a take 2 card. Like the effect is pretty good, but for 7 mana, it's pretty big. I just hate that it doesn't give it itself the effect. It could give itself the effect, which would have been pretty good, but to each their own. And finally, we have Dain, Ancient Blader, Portalcraft, 5 mana 3/5 legendary minion. Has Rush, Fanfare, deal 1 damage to all enemies. It's pretty okay. If the total cost of all destroyed all ally artifacts this game is 20 or more, deal 5 damage instead. So basically, this card is what your is one of your payoffs in the artifact decks. Like before, we had Saphira as one of your payoffs. This is another one of your payoffs just to help you clear the board at all times. Like 20 or more can be pretty hard to get to, but with all the new artifact cards that are coming out, it's getting to be much more easier to do. And that's pretty much it for the spoilers we have so far. I'd like to know what you guys think of the new cards revealed so far in the comments down below. And Gene, out.